This is the question asked in today's skillrack daily challenge. So we will be given a linked list as an input, and our task is to delete the third node in the linked list, and the third node in this linked list is 1. So after removing this, we have to print all the remaining nodes. So after removing the node 1, these are all the remaining nodes. So we print 8427. So our task is only to implement the function named deleteThirdNode. So now let us see how the data is present in a linked list. So every node has two things, value and address. The value can be accessed using arrow val, and the address can be accessed using arrow next. So this is how we can access the value and address in a node. So now let us see our first node. And every node in the list will contain a value and the address to its next node. So that is how the data is present in a linked list. So now let us see our first node. So the first node has the value 8 and the address is 100. So this address is the address of its next node. So the next node is 4. So this 100 is the address of the node 4. And the node 4 has the address 200, which is the address of 1, and the 1 has the address 300, which is the address of 2. Similarly, 2 has the address 400, which is the address of 7, and the 7 has address null because there are no integers present after that in the list. So the address is null. And now we have to remove this third node. So the third node address is 200. So our second node has the address 200, which points to the third node. So now instead of the second node pointing to the third node, it must be pointing to the fourth node. So when we do like that, we can delete our third node. So the address of the fourth node is 300. So this second node must contain the address 300 so that it can point to the fourth node, and the fourth node will point to all the integers present after that in the list. So our task is to replace the 200 with 300. So when we do so, the second node will be pointing to our fourth node. So the 200 must be replaced with 300. So let us access the address 200. So the name of the list is head, and head arrow next will be the first address, that is it will be 100. So now we have to actually access the address 200. So again we have to include arrow next. So head arrow next will be 200, and this 200 should be replaced with 300. So the address 300 is present at head arrow next and arrow next. So this is the address of 300. So we set the 200 is equal to 300. So after the execution of the statement, the address 200 will be replaced with 300. So our second node will now be pointing to the fourth node. So the third node in between will be removed, and the fourth node will be pointing to the fifth node. So like this our list would have been updated. So this is how we will be deleting the third node.